We have reached the NCAA tournament in college baseball. It is an amazing time. We have 64 teams, the bracket, the field, it's set. So I am here to give you my favorite bets. The tournament starts tomorrow. We have college baseball all day, all throughout the day, all throughout the weekend, and it is a very exciting, fun time in the sport. And I'm going to give you who I have to win it all. Maybe some other future bets, to win the regional, to make the College World Series. And then, of course, I'm going to give you my best bets for Friday, May 30th, the opening night for the NCAA tournament. If you don't know how the bracket is set up in college baseball, I'll explain it to you very quickly. It's kind of like the inverse of college basketball, where there's four brackets of 16. In college baseball, there are 16 brackets of four, and it's a double elimination tournament in each of those groups of four, and those are the regionals. The winner of each regional goes to the super regionals, and they play in a best 2 out of 3 series, and the winner of the super regionals goes to Omaha, goes to the College World Series, and that leaves us with 8 teams. I'm going to give you my pick to win it all, and I'm going with the North Carolina Tar Heels. The Tar Heels are fresh off an ACC tournament championship, and they have the fourth best odds right now to win the College World Series at plus 950. It is a little risky not picking a team from the SEC, especially in a year where 13 teams reach the regionals, which is a conference record. And the SEC has won the last 5 College World Series. They've won 6 of the last 7. I really like this North Carolina team. The ACC tournament really just proved how complete of a team this is. They have pitching depth, which is extremely important in college baseball. You see a lot of teams, just one really good guy, maybe two, and then it's tough. They have to get creative with how they lay out their starting pitchers for the following games. With this veteran pitching trio of Jake Knapp, Jason DeCaro, and Aiden Haw, this gives the Tar Heels some flexibility with how they manage that upcoming schedule. They have the 4th best team ERA in the country at 3.42, and that's nothing to discount this time of year. But they're not only about pitching. Their bats, they have some power, especially in the middle of that lineup, so they can score with any team, as was shown in the ACC championship, where they beat Clemson 14-4. They are 6th in RPI. They're ranked 5th in the country. They went to Omaha last year, and they have a pretty nice path right now with how the bracket was laid out to reach the College World Series yet again in 2025. And once they get there, I really like this pitching depth to take over Omaha. It's a pitcher's ballpark. So I like the Tar Heels here. Another future bet I'm looking at, this is to win the regional. I love Southern Miss at plus 110 to win the Hattiesburg Regional. It's my favorite bet out of all the teams to win a regional. I love getting plus money with this one. The Golden Eagles enter this tournament as one of the hottest teams in college baseball. They were on an 18-game winning streak before losing a very close one to number 13 Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Championship. Hattiesburg is an electric home field advantage, and I'm not too confident in the other teams in their regional. Alabama did beat Southern Miss earlier this season, but it was a midweek game early in the year. I'm not putting too much stock into that. And we also don't know which Alabama team is going to show up. Alabama lost 5 of their last 7 SEC series, and they will also probably use their ace in the first game in that 2-3 matchup against Miami. So Southern Miss has a good chance here to pretty much cruise in this regional. Miami started the season strong, but they lack pitching depth. They don't have much of an explosive lineup. They're 41st in RPI, so I don't really see them as a threat either. I really like Southern Miss at home in Hattiesburg in that electric environment. Then I have 2 bets on teams to reach the College World Series that I just placed now that the field is set. And it's minus 115. It's not a crazy plus money play, but I'm betting on LSU to reach the College World Series. I think they got the easiest regional. I think a lot of people agree with me. Dallas Baptist, amazing college baseball program, but I don't see how they match up here against LSU, who has the second best odds to win the College World Series. And then the other 2 teams in the regional, they got a week 3 seed in Rhode Island, Little Rock. They were the eighth seed in the OVC, I believe. I think LSU cruises here, and if they win their regional, they will play most likely a Clemson team that's really streaky. And so I really like getting the LSU Tigers at minus 115 to just reach Omaha. And then I also like Vanderbilt at plus 120, the number one overall seed. Won 8 in a row, won the SEC tournament. And since they got that number one seed, they have a pretty favorable path to Omaha. Their regional features Louisville, East Tennessee State, and Wright State. The Commodores are at home, should not have an issue with any of these teams. ETSU is honestly the team that I can see making some noise out of this regional outside of Vanderbilt, but I think Vandy is just too talented, have too much depth, their strength of schedule, running through the SEC tournament. I think they will prevail here, and then they will most likely play Southern Miss or on some crazy shot where I lose my bet, Alabama or Miami in the supers, and I think Vandy handles business there. So they have a really nice path laid out to get to Omaha. I like getting plus 120 for the number one overall team. Then let's get into Friday's bets, my best bets for these games on May 30th, the first day of the NCAA tournament. And I'm going to start us off with a little parlay because why not? I'm doing a Wake Forest TCU moneyline parlay. I really like both of these teams to win, but Wake Forest is minus 160, TCU is minus 200. A little too much juice to lay for just a single wager. So when you put that together, you get a plus 143 parlay. And the Demon Deacons, they have an ace in Logan Lunsford, who should be the starting pitcher in this one against Cincinnati. And I really don't trust or believe in this Bearcats team. I think they're a weaker 3 seed. And Wake Forest, they have the pitching. Their offense late in the year started to show off some power. I really like them to get the win here. And then TCU, a team that I've been betting on a lot late in the season. They lost a heartbreaker to Arizona in the Big 12 Championship in extras. Very tough, but there's still a lot to like about this Horned Frogs team. Their pitching is incredible. Their pitching depth is incredible. They have an ace in Tommy Laporte, who spots a 2.89 ERA. Their lineup is led by Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Yes, a freshman, Sawyer Straussnider, who is hitting 354, 10 home runs. And I really trust the depth and the experience of TCU. They go to Omaha a lot. They are very used to being in this tournament. I think they go out west. I think they beat USC in their first regional game. So I love starting this off with a nice little parlay of TCU and Wake Forest just to get the win. And I'm looking at West Virginia money line at minus 125 versus Kentucky. This Wildcats team is kind of a difficult one to figure out. They have solid pitching, but not a lot of depth, and their lineup is also nothing to write home about. They went 13-17 in the SEC, and while it is the SEC, I'm not that impressed with what I've seen so far from them this season. And then West Virginia, they looked really good all year. They did struggle a bit down the stretch, but I expect the 41-win Mountaineers to get back on track against a pretty underwhelming Kentucky team. Then I already brought them up once in this video. I'm going to do it again. ETSU moneyline against Louisville in the first game of the Nashville Regional. East Tennessee State quietly put together a very, very good college baseball season. They went 41-15. They're 36th in RPI. Their offense is so much fun to watch. Their lineup is incredible, which really means they're never out of games. The Buccaneers are averaging just under 10 runs a game this season. And then you look at the other side, Louisville lost 5 straight series to end the year with 500 in a pretty good ACC, but still just 500. They're a good team, but not a great team. So I really like getting ETSU here to beat Louisville, get some runs, get up early. And Louisville is just 13-35 when they are trailing this season. Then I'm looking at Nebraska plus 1.5 on the run line against Oklahoma. Nebraska came into the season with a lot of hype. I really liked them. They were fresh off a 2024 Big Ten championship. And the season was kind of a letdown. But the good news is they rattled off 6 straight wins. They won the 2025 Big Ten championship, including beating regional hosts Oregon and UCLA in that tournament. And they're now playing kind of like how I thought and how a lot of people projected they would this season. They are a live underdog here. I like them keeping it close within a run. And Oklahoma is a very good team, but their biggest flaw is their lack of pitching depth. They have one of, if not the best pitcher in the country, Kyson Witherspoon. But after that, there's not a whole lot in this Sooners pitching staff. And the Sooners might actually opt to start Witherspoon on Saturday in a potential game against 1 seed North Carolina or in a potential elimination game, which really makes me like Nebraska a lot more in this. So I'm going Nebraska plus 1.5 here. Then lastly, I'm going Duke, Oklahoma State over 13.5. Duke and Oklahoma are playing in a great ballpark for runs to be scored. Athens presents a great opportunity for home runs, and both of these teams are pretty good offensively. Duke is 11th in the country in OPS, and the Cowboys, they have 4 players in their lineup that have hit double-digit home runs. Oklahoma State's lineup did struggle to start the year, but they've slowly been getting better, and I expect a lot of runs to be scored here. So those are my 5 best bets for Friday, May 30th, including some fun futures to get in before the tournament starts. So thank you so much for watching. I know I just threw a ton of info, a ton of bets, but that's what happens when you have these many games going on during the day. It's going to be a great weekend. So once again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe if you made it to the end here. I truly appreciate it. And let's enjoy some of the most electric baseball that is played on this planet, and that is college baseball in the postseason.